Andrews come up, and she's over at ESPN. And there's Alexa Philippou talking about the WNBA PA discussing a moratorium proposal that would apply to an upcoming league business, including free agency qualifying offers and core designations, which were set to begin as early as Sunday. Breanna Stewart said that while a qualifying offers may be going out,
Breanna Stewart might have just made the biggest mistake of her career. And no, I am not talking about a missed shot or a bad game. I am talking about something way worse. This woman is out here telling WNBA players not to sign contracts while she owns a whole other basketball league. You cannot make this stuff up. So here is what is going down. The WNBA Players Association just called for a moratorium. That is a fancy word for telling every player in the league to refuse to sign anything. Qualifying offers went out this past Sunday. Standard stuff, happens every year. But this time the union wants everyone to just say no. And guess who is leading that charge? Breanna Stewart. The same Breanna Stewart who is a vice president of the Players Union. The same Breanna Stewart who co-owns Unrivaled. You know, that other professional basketball league that directly competes with the WNBA for players and attention.
With the NBA, that just all sounds insane to me. When it comes out of my mouth, every time it comes out of my mouth, that you have players that are vice presidents of the Players Union for one league owning a different professional basketball league. It's just baffling. But nonetheless, we found out yesterday, I did a video. The NBA and WNBA, very smart. Very smart. We said, they came out, they said, you know what? We're under a moratorium here. Let's start sending out qualifying offers to...
I need you to really think about this for a second. A player who owns a competing league is telling other players not to sign with the WNBA. How is nobody in the media screaming about this conflict of interest? It is wild. But wait, it gets even crazier. Stewart is not just some random owner. She is actively involved in both organizations at the highest levels. She sits in union meetings deciding strategy. Then she goes home and counts her unrivaled money. Meanwhile, she is telling players making $60,000 a year to hold out and wait. The audacity is honestly impressive. She has endorsement deals. She has unrivaled income. She has financial security that most WNBA players will never see. But sure, let us all listen to her advice about turning down guaranteed money. The WNBA owners just pulled off one of the smartest moves in sports negotiation history, and the Players Union walked right into it. Here is what went down. The league ended the negotiation moratorium and started sending out qualifying offers to free agents.
None of them. And it's common knowledge. It's common. I mean, there's sports fans that don't give a rip about the WNBA that knows it's never made a profit. Why? Because it's been a running joke forever. And then, of course, it also got a lot of publicity when Brittany Griner got locked up in Russia. Yeah, that was a thing. But nonetheless...
Now, these offers are based on the current collective bargaining agreement. The old salary structure where max contracts top out at around $250,000. Nobody expected players to actually sign these offers. That was never the point. The point was to get real numbers in front of real players, specific dollar amounts with their names on them. And this is where it gets interesting. Now, every single player has to look at that piece of paper. Then they have to look at the new CBA offer from the owners, the one where that same contract would be worth 6 times more. We are talking about players currently making $100,000 who could be making $500,000 in year 1 of the new deal. That is not a small raise. That is life-changing money. Think about what this means for the average player. Not Caitlin Clark, not Asia Wilson, not Sabrina Ionescu. I am talking about the 6th through 11th player on the roster. The ones without shoe deals. The ones living in tiny apartments and flying to Turkey every winter just to pay rent. Under the new CBA, those players could buy homes. They could have actual stability. They could stop risking their bodies overseas and finally rest during the off-season. The difference between the current deal and the proposed deal is the difference between renting and owning, between stress and security. But here is the kicker. The union is telling them to turn it down. Keep fighting. Wait for something better. Better than what exactly? Better than a 600% raise. At some point, you have to ask what this is really about.
personal shots. You're bringing up social reform in a collective bargaining agreement. We're seeing your ridiculous inflatable rats and freaking a digital banner on the side of a truck. And it's starting to feel like low budget AA baseball shit out there by the players union. It's like, okay, come on, stop this nonsense. And it feels personal, and it's like they want revenge.
3 weeks ago, everybody was on the players' side. The narrative was simple. Women athletes deserve equal pay. The league is finally making money. Give them their share. That story worked for about 10 days. Then things started getting weird. Inflatable rats showed up outside arenas. A digital billboard truck started driving around Manhattan with union messages. Social media posts from the Players Association started feeling less like labor negotiation and more like a personal vendetta. And casual fans started asking questions. The biggest question was pretty obvious. Why are these players acting like the owners have been stealing from them when the league has literally never turned a profit? That is not owner propaganda. That is documented fact. The NBA has subsidized the WNBA losses every single year since 1996. Now here is the thing nobody wants to admit. Everyone knows the WNBA has never been profitable. Sports fans who do not even watch women's basketball know this. It has been a running joke for decades. The league only got serious mainstream attention when Brittany Griner was detained in Russia back in 2022. And even then, half the coverage was about why she was playing overseas in the first place. The answer was simple. WNBA salaries were not enough to live on. But that is exactly what makes this situation so frustrating.
Making them think about money and the increase in money. That's all they've talked about. We want new money. We want more money. Well, more money and a lot more of it's on the table. Right here, I put this up this morning. How long before the WNBA players start chewing their own legs off, trying to get off a sinking ship? You've got a lot of women turning down a lot of money. $2 million by the end of the new CBA is a lot of bread just laying there to be picked up, and that's the whole thing. The money is now officially, because it's been offered from the...
There is real money on the table now. The owners offered a deal that takes maximum salaries from $250,000 to $1.2 million by the end of the contract. That is a 600% increase for top players. For mid-tier players, we are looking at 8 to 9 times their current salary. This is not a marginal improvement. This is generational wealth type money. And the union response has been protest trucks and inflatable rats. Here is the part that makes this whole situation so dangerous for the union. The veteran players are the ones pushing hardest for this work stoppage. The ones who have been in the league for 8, 10, 12 years. They feel like they have been underpaid forever. And honestly, they are not wrong about that. But here is the problem. They are not the reason anyone is watching anymore. The league does not need Breanna Stewart to draw viewers. They need Caitlin Clark. They do not need Diana Taurasi. They need Angel Reese and Paige Bookers. The entire power dynamic has shifted in the past 12 months, and the veteran players have not adjusted their strategy to match that new reality.
That's who we're talking about. And let's be real. What if the league was like, well, we're going forward with replacements and our rookies, which I don't know if that can happen. I know they're currently under contracts. But let's face it, a lot of people have brought this up. Just get replacement players. Think about all the rookies, and they're all star. Like, much of the stardom in this league, almost all of it, is people on rookie contracts. Think about that a minute. I mean, Rickea Jackson, Sonia Centra, Paige Beckers, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Aaliyah Boston. A ton of players. And I understand.
Let me break this down for you. Think about who actually drives viewership in the WNBA right now. Caitlin Clark is on a rookie contract. Angel Reese is on a rookie contract. Cameron Brink before her injury was on a rookie contract. Rickea Jackson on a rookie contract. The entire surge in ratings, attendance, and media coverage this past season was driven almost entirely by first- and second-year players. You could field entire rosters of rookies and recent draft picks. Throw in some overseas players as replacements, and the ratings would barely move. And that is the nuclear option sitting on the table. Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bueckers next season, still happening, both on rookie deals. Clark versus Camila Cardoso, rookie deals. The matchups that casual fans actually want to see do not involve a single veteran player making over $200,000. The veterans have been fighting like they still hold all the cards, but the deck got reshuffled when Caitlin Clark walked through the door. The league knows it, the owners know it. The only people who seem confused about this are the ones leading the union.
Wow, this was such a smart move. I mean, the league's not dumb. They know these players are not going to sign those qualifying offers, but it gets the players to thinking about their money and where they want to go. And I've seen people go, oh, well, there might be a 3-week off season and it'll be exciting. Really? I mean, the way this league's run, you need all the time you can get. Again, how many times have I talked about how Bush League some of these telecasts look? And I'm tuning into some Atlanta Dream game, and it's like, am I watching single A rookie baseball with the quality of this broadcast? And just there's all kinds of things this league needs as much time to get together and do professionally as possible.
The owners can wait this out longer than the players can. That is just the reality of the situation. The NBA does not need the WNBA to be profitable. They have subsidized it for almost 3 decades as a way to expand their brand and show commitment to women's sports. If the season gets delayed or canceled, the NBA just writes it off as another year of losses and moves on. But the players, they lose everything. A year of their already short careers, a year of salary, a year of momentum in a moment when the league finally has mainstream attention. You cannot get that back. And this is what makes Stewart's position so frustrating. She can afford solidarity. She has unrivaled money coming in. She has endorsement deals stacked up. She has financial security that 90% of WNBA players will never touch. The 6th player on the bench in Dallas does not have any of that. When she looks at a qualifying offer that could change her life and then looks at union leadership telling her to refuse it, she has to be wondering whose interests are really being served here. The league knows exactly what they are doing. They sent those offers out now because they are betting that individual self-interest will eventually override collective solidarity. They are betting that when players see real money with their name on it, the abstract principles of labor disputes will start to feel less important than concrete financial security. And honestly, they are probably right. The union strategy only works if every player stays unified. But unity is easy when you are fighting against obvious injustice. It is way harder when you are fighting against an offer that would make most players wealthier than they ever imagined.
Not going to look much different at all. I'd be willing to bet they would look no different. Oh, I'm tuning in for Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bueckers. I'm tuning in for Caitlin Clark versus Anya Cintron. That's still all on the table. Angel Reese is out. You know, I mean, you get my point I'm trying to make. It's the veteran players that are the long-term back-end veteran players that are screwing this all up.
So the question becomes this: how long before the first player breaks ranks? How long before someone decides that $500,000 in hand is worth more than solidarity with veterans fighting battles from a different era? Because once that dam breaks, the whole strategy collapses, and Breanna Stewart might find out that leading a rebellion is a lot harder when you are the only one with nothing to lose. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to see more content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and help support the channel.